We're into the draft, my friends. AD2L Season 10, Heroic League Playoffs, Mastodon Esports versus Moribund Esports. Best of 3, Game 1. I'm here with Mr. V Dota. Pleasure as always, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Excited to watch some games and do some casting.
For sure. Latrodectus Dota is taking care of stats tonight, so we'll see some beautiful stats from her as always. What do you think about these first 2 picks here from Moribund, the Lone Druid Jakiro pairing?
It really screams kind of push to me. Lone Druid, a little bit more of a split pusher, but Jakiro's just really nice for kind of pounding the liquid fire onto towers. And Beastmaster's alright for D-pushing, but I think they're just going to look to maybe 4-man push with the Jakiro and their other heroes, and then maybe leave the Lone Druid to split push a little bit. So, nice opening.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the rest of the Moribund lineup can really leave a little bit of room here for the Lone Druid so he can either opt for that early Midas, which will help his farm later on, or just save up for that Radiance before he starts to really make an impact later on. But either way, the Bear is great at pushing, which is great for the Lone Druid just in the solo lane, so 2 very strong picks, but it looks like with the Beastmaster and Mastodon, there might be a little bit of pushing here as well from Mastodon, so...
Yeah, the Beastmaster offers a lot of vision as well with Hawk, which is really valuable in terms of whether or not you decide to fight. So if they have the Hawk up, they should know what type of fights they're walking into, whether or not that's Lone Druid solo, Lone Druid +1, or maybe it's 4 of the other team and they just decide, hey, we're going to fight 5v4 and let the Lone Druid do a split push and then deal with him afterwards type thing. So Beastmaster's a very strategic hero in that, and he definitely offers a lot of lockdown, and combined with the Vengeful Spirit, they have a lot of control in these team fights, from Swap, to the Magic Missile, to the Roar, to the Beastmaster Boar Slow. It's just kind of this large control they have for maybe dealing with the Bear.
Yeah, well, and the best part is all 3 of the picks from Mastodon synergize pretty damn well. I mean, you have 2 stuns, which set up the cold feet. The extended, if you chain the stuns, it sets up a great ice blast. So, 3 heroes that seem to synergize very well just out of these, right out of the gate here for Mastodon. So, the Abby pick, I'm praying that this is a core. It's quite known that's my absolute favorite hero, but he's also very, very viable as a support as well. Just trying to keep everyone upright during these team fights and maybe allowing a little more aggression in the early laning phase here with the Aphotic Shield being leveled up through the laning phase.
Yeah, it's kind of a love-hate relationship for Abaddon right now. He's got a good counter to the Roar with the Aphotic Shield, but at the same time, AA Ice Blast is kind of a counter to him, so...
Yeah, not only that, but the cast time for the shield and the range isn't all that fantastic, so he has to be pretty damn close to everybody to be able to purge that the stun off. But so we see a Wind Ranger pick, so that'll most likely be their mid. Very, very strong. I don't know how it really goes. I like the push, especially with the Egg Scepter. Gives them a little bit of wave clear too, in case Mastodon decides to go in for a little bit more pushing lineup, which go for Necro. So won't be a lot of summons to deal with, but Necro just dangerous hero in the late game, being able to literally delete a hero for a minute plus off the map. So if that's core, which I imagine it is, that could be a big problem for Moribund down the road.
Yeah, I wonder if they're planning on running it mid. I've seen Necro in the safe lane, but like that'd be such a scary tri lane with the Venge AA from the Chilling Touch to the Venge stun to the Necro, like just ranged right clicks. I think they can almost destroy any off lane there. So I think the Necro will be mid, but in either case, it's definitely an intimidating pick.
Yeah, I've seen a few Necros, especially in the Heroic League this season, and they've always fared very, very well in the laning phase. A couple even opted for an early Midas, which only makes him more potent as the game progresses. But it's really about optimization. Really, you want some sort of mobility. A Blink Dagger is always nice, but there's just a lot of ways to go with it too, and how to utilize that farm. So we'll see what they decide to do here.
Yeah, do you think Moribund will decide to go for something with some mana burn, like an AM, maybe a PL, or something, and put Lone Druid in the offlane?
Yeah, I think they might even switch it up too. Put Lone Druid solo safe lane just to see what Mastodon wants to do. Just because like you said, that tri lane, the Venge AA Necro would just be just awful. I mean the Lone Druid would do okay, but definitely not optimal. So, and there's a lot
They
of
could,
heroes left over. There's not only the Juggernaut really banned for Mastodon here, so Moribund have a lot of options. So Animage might be one of them.
yeah. I know that Moribund, thanks to Lactro, likes their Tiny, so they could maybe run like something like a Wind Ranger Abaddon offlane, put Tiny mid, and then Lone Druid safe. But it's definitely going to be a hard situation for their offlane in either case. They could dual offlane, they could just throw a Lone Druid or Wind Ranger there solo, but they pick up the Sven, which seems to indicate to me that they're going to put Sven safe and Lone Druid offlane.
Yeah, I think Sven, he gives them a little bit more lockdown too. So just in case the Shackle and Ice Path and relying on Entangle, maybe not the best forms of CC. So the Sven offers a nice AoE stun, not to mention a devastating right click in the late game. So
Yeah,
and a
and
natural
he's
BKB carrier, which will help out a lot with
to go.
pretty much everybody but the Beastmaster.
Yeah, the BKB is definitely core to this game. And they have Aphotic Shield to remove the Roar, so if he builds BKB, they can't really stop him. And he just jumps on with a Blink Dagger onto the Venge and AA, and probably just like right clicks them down with 2 hits.
Wind
So-
Ranger and Sven are definitely gonna need the blinks for sure.
Yeah, I like the synergy that Sven has with Wind Ranger, because Shackle is a really good lockdown for Sven, and he needs a little bit more time so that he doesn't get kited. So having a Wind Ranger to kind of offer that control is super nice to have. Wonder how Mastodon will respond though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, it still remains to be seen. They have plenty of time on the clock. Still got a buck and change still to pick their last hero here, but there's flexibility in both the drafts. So laning stage could be flip flopped, or like you said, it could be Necro mid. We really have no idea, but I think I like him in the safe lane more. I think just guaranteeing that early farm just to make sure that he gets upright in the first 10 or so minutes is probably the best, because Sven's gonna get his farm, especially if he gets a Blink Dagger at a decent time. He's gonna be able to get into these team fights a lot earlier, and it's gonna be even harder for Mastodon to keep up, especially if he starts getting if that BKB comes to line early too. It's gonna be even more difficult. So yeah, these are two teams that are very, very, very talented. Mastodon actually have not dropped a game in the entire season 10 of the Heroic League. Moribund only dropping a few along the way, and edged out a pretty big win last week at 2-1. So I lost the first game, came back to the last two. So two very talented teams. So I have no doubt that they'll be able to put these traps. Oh my gosh! Okay, I did not see that one coming. All right.
Mid Alk, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Oh my gosh. I thought we were done with the Alchemist days, man. I thought we were done.
I just played a ranked game and our mid Alk threw. He never built BKB. So hopefully this Drister guy knows what he's doing, because I can't bear to suffer to watch another Alk throw game.
Yeah, so that's the problem with Alk. Like, yeah, he has like just insurmountable farming ability, but at the same time, he needs so many items. He just needs so much to be able to be an effective late game carry, and it's just you only have 6 item slots, like So, and at least 3 of the items are probably gonna be required. You're definitely gonna need the Octane Core, probably bots. BKB is always nice, but who likes to build that in a pub game, right? As you so.
Yeah.
So graciously bestowed upon us that knowledge. People just they don't like it. BKB, nah, no need.
Looks like a 5-man rune commitment on the side of MTD.
Yeah,
It's always hard.
Yeah, they definitely want to make sure the Alchemist gets that first rune, but it looks like they're both going for the same one.
Yeah.
I think Moribund has slightly better level 1 fight. Depending on what they haven't skilled anything, so they're ready for just about anything. But actually, they might be scouted out here. The Bear's gonna see the Necro, but that's it. They get an early ward down here, and it's pinged out immediately. So trying to block that pull camp, but
30 seconds to go.
Matt's gonna be able to deward it almost instantly here.
Someone's having technical difficulties.
I'm surprised that they're deciding to split the XP. I guess they give it to 3 heroes, but it would have been smart to maybe give it to the Alk, just the solo, and then he starts level 2, so he can acid spray and lane right away.
Yeah, that makes the laning stage so much easier. You can get that acid spray right away because it's great to have that early gold surplus right away, but at the same time, it's your level 1 is just garbage. You're like a melee creep,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So it is Necro safe in the mid Alk, and Lone Druid offlane, so you never knew what these teams were going to do until you actually saw the lanes.
Yeah, even checking their items, like it's still hard to be completely certain. So yeah, that's the nice thing about the Rogue League. The drafts aren't so simple. They're actually a lot more complex, and the teams are a lot more versatile too. So they're able to pull out a lot more out of their sleeves.
What do you think about the starting Iron Talon build on the side of Lone Druid?
He completed it? Oh wow. I mean, if you can microwave me, that's fantastic. But I think right off the bat it might be. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that big of a fan, honestly. But I guarantee that's just so we can go up to that hard camp in the off lane if things grow grim. The Iron Talon's really just been a blessing for most off laners because it's just like Beastmaster right now. He's already committed to the hard camp. He's not even bothering. Curtis actually scouting this out, so he's gonna be able to get some XP and he's gonna be able to block it, and even take the troll warlord too. The big troll. Evil. Only point
A little
this
things
way.
that up.
Oh, for sure. As a position 5 support, I'm sure any amount of gold he can get right now is gonna be very much appreciated here. I don't think they even saw that sentry go down either, so that's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so both tri-lanes are gonna the supports are pretty much left in Necro because he's pretty good by himself. So he got 2 points in the death pulse, so he's not gonna go down. He's not really in any danger here. And Wind Ranger's actually I'm surprised I actually picked the Alk because the laning phase, I mean, it's not gonna be terrible for him, but the Wind Ranger's not really gonna suffer too much at the hands of the acid spray.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Lone Druid, and he's getting a lot more experience than this Beastmaster. The support's on the side of, it's not Moribund, is it?
Yep, you got it.
Or no, it's Mastodon.
Oh yeah, Radiant, yeah.
Yeah, they're only doing their first pull now, and they actually kind of messed it up. So Lone Druid's almost going to be level 4 here, comparatively to the Beastmaster, who's still level 2.
Yeah, the Beastmaster just a bit ago pinged out that sentry in the hard camp in his off lane, and not much they can do about it at the time being.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate. He's just gonna get harassed, and they get a couple liquid fire shots on both him and the tower, so
Yeah.
it won't be easy, but
they push the wave into him, so he gets some levels, which is really important.
yeah. Speaking of levels, the AA gets the successful pull on the double stack camp there, so XP for the supports, which is going to be absolutely huge here because they're gonna need to be able to fight early here because I expect Moribund to be able to push quite early and often.
Looking at the CS, I'm surprised the Alk is doing this well versus the Wind Ranger. Like,
Yeah,
Wind
sure.
Rangers... Go ahead.
Well, I was kind of looking at that myself and just kind of curious. I mean, I figured it'd be a fairly even lane, but yeah, the Alk's actually pulling away with it here quite a bit. It's got a full wave over the Wind Ranger already, so. I mean, obviously getting that early bottle makes the acid spam, and he's gonna have complete rune control because he already has boots. So, and the supports really aren't making a priority to get rune control here. So.
And he gets the haste.
Yeah, so he's looking pretty good at the moment.
I would really like to see Moribund doing a little bit more in terms of helping secure runes for their Wind Ranger.
Yeah, the Abaddon's committed completely to the stack and pull, so it leaves the Jakiro free to do pretty much whatever. Because the Sven's completely on his lonesome here. He can do as he pleases. And they still have not dewatered that hard camp for the Beastmaster, so I guess he's just going to look for CS elsewhere. Scouts out the jungle and just going to go to their camps instead.
Do you think Necro's going Midas? He's pooling a lot of gold right now.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, because he does have to scale against the Sven, and if, God forbid, something goes wrong with the Alchemist, if he gets stifled early, I think they're going to need that backup insurance policy. It's not bad. He definitely needs the levels, because, I mean, the level 1 ultimate is it's just garbage. They have a decent amount of burst, but they have to commit quite a bit for it, so I think Midas is okay here. Not to mention he's a very farm-intensive hero. In order to get to that late game, deleting 2+ heroes off the map, I mean, that requires a lot of farm, a lot of gold, so.
Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't surprise me.
There's the smoke on the side of Mastodon, so I think they're going to try to get a kill here on the Wind Ranger.
And they're waiting patiently. They're only level 2 apiece, so just a stun and a cold feet proc that they'll just have to kind of hope for, but...
Yeah, I think they kind of communicated to Alk, hey, don't use Acid Spray, pull the wave back so we have an opportunity to try to get a kill here, but...
he uses it anyway.
He uses it anyways. So.
The only problem I have with the Midas on the Necro is that just makes for a really, really greedy lineup. You already have an Alchemist who is going to be rushing something of some sort. Not necessarily Radiance. I've seen less and less Radiance played up Alks, but I mean, you never know.
Good stacking though from the side of Mastodon by their supports.
Yeah, they're ready.
2 triple stacks, and the hard camp's a double stack. Really good job by them. It's going to give Venge and A the opportunity to get some levels mid while Alchemist farms the jungle.
As far as the offlanes go, Longer's already level 6 and the Beastmaster's only level 4, so like we mentioned earlier, the difference in the offlane really making a difference in the total XP. Actually, there you go. He's going to go right for the stacks right now. Wind Ranger scouts this out though. Not much they can do at this point, but gives Wind Ranger a free lane, so she can kind of recoup here in terms of CS. Give Venge a chance to pick up some solo XP as well.
And it looks like Moribund's going to try to push this tower here. They've got a Stormbolt onto the...
Oh, great chaining here, great chaining. Sven did pop his ult for this, so they're really going to commit. Got another Ice Path in 4 seconds, but I think they're just going to make haste and get out. Yeah, Sven's pretty untouchable here with the Aphotic Shield. So he got so much armor too with Warcry, and they commit 3 up here. 2 TPs come up. They pop a Mango, so there's plenty of mana here, so they can re-goose if they need to. But the Hawk actually providing great vision.
Oh, excellent play by Lone Druid. Noticing the TP is out, immediately starts pushing the bottom tower.
Yep. He's got free reign on this lane now, so the Bear's having fantastic health. Who has it gloves of haste, so this might be a Midas for him as well. Blink Dagger actually is the item of choice here for the Necropost, so in that early positioning, it's going to be fantastic.
Alk snags the rune right under
another haste
again.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a rough time for the Wind Ranger. I think she's got 2 runes the entire game so far.
Bottom towers seen better days.
More stacking here.
Radiant lost one of them bottom towers.
So. I think this is one of the latest First Bloods games in AD2L.
Oh yeah, this is unbelievable. It's nice for me because I don't have to worry about missing kills. It's gonna happen though, and I'm gonna have no idea it's gonna happen. Just you wait.
Yeah.
It is slightly concerning that the supports on both sides are fairly underleveled. The Jakiro actually almost 5, but the Abby just hits 4. So they're giving them a little more space because they realize that the levels need to be there. So both the safe lanes being very effective. Sven 63 CS. Necro is 51, so I mean they're both doing fantastic. Early Blink Digger's gonna be huge just because of just how innately slow Necro is. So.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him go Midas. Even though the Blink is nice, he's not farming as fast as the Sven, and Sven has the cleave, so he is a really good way of clearing out camps, especially once he gets his lifestealer up.
Yeah, Radiance has finally fallen out of favor, so 16 out of the 44 matches and 6.8 play, so or 6.86 play. I can't believe this game is so passive here. I mean, they're just going with their lane combinations and just. I mean, I think this is Radiance too, because he's got 3100, so, and all the stacking just yeah. So maybe that's why Necro opted to go for the Blink Dagger. But still, his mana pool is just so awful this early in the game. So honestly, he really has room for maybe 2 Death Pulses in his ult at best. So
Yeah, if that, right? He only has 500, and it's what, 390? And then plus
oh
the
yeah,
ult
560.
is
Yeah.
yeah. You can't even
well, and maybe he's banking that he gets a kill, then he'll get a little bit of Sadist love, but
yeah.
can't really bank on that. And they're stacking the Ancients here for Moribund too, so Sven's gonna have a lot of farm to go home to once the laning phase is done for him. Man, he already has treads, a full wand, and a Helm of the Dominator, so. Lot
Yeah,
of
Moribund
sustain.
is coming out on top.
And they got a nice
overall.
little smoke going on here. They don't see the Beastmaster, who is level 6, so the Primal War is up. And Moribund's just gonna ditch. Just gonna head for the hills. There's 4 committed up here on top for Mastodon, and they're just gonna abandon the lane.
Yeah, and Sven's gonna go do its ancient stack now.
Yeah, it's a good time for it here. I think they're willing to sack that T1 if need be. Be a lot of space created for everybody else. This is huge too. The Abbey's gonna hit level 6 too from finishing that ancient stack.
Dyer's top tower, you know the drill.
Elk is 200 gold away from Relic, so I think he's going for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good
Dyer
timing.
might wanna mine the top tower.
Actually, they're gonna go in a mid,
Dyer
but I don't
buildings
think
are
he's gonna
tough as
bother
nails
contesting it.
now. Radiant's
Focus
gone.
fire, Glyph is popped.
Structures. Dyer's
Got
top
3 here.
tower
Sven
again.
does not have God Strength, so this tower won't be going as fast as they'd like. And Shakir actually taking an absorbent amount of damage from the tower, and he's just gonna, that's your first blood, the first Reaper Scythe of the game. Also first blood, so that's gonna help that Necro scale just a little bit better, because
Radiant's bottom tower
we're
in
waiting
pretty
for
good
it.
sight right now.
11 minutes into the game, almost 12, and we finally get our first kill of the game.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's
And
bottom
they're gonna be able to turn this
tower.
into a T1. Glyph is available, but all 5 are here for Mastodon, so it's just a matter of time before that tower goes down.
Radiant's bottom tower in a pretty
It's a
good
trade
sight
though, right?
Well, I
Lundred's-
mean, meanwhile, Lone Druid's been just demolishing this bottom lane. He almost takes a T2.
Dyer could
So,
hang on
yeah,
to
it's a decent trade here.
What's with all the scribbling?
It looks like, I don't know if this is a casual bit boost or a point booster, or if Wind Ranger's gonna rush the Ags here, but we shall find out.
Dyer's mid tower.
I think it's an X rush.
Yeah, I'm actually perfectly okay with that. All these haste runes, man, this is unbelievable. Necro picked up one too.
Surprised there was only 1 kill in that entire engagement.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of spells pop, but I mean these teams they're very confident in their ability to take the game later too, so they're not looking to go too crazy right off the gate. And this Abbey's actually taking a double stack for himself here. He's got an Iron Talon, so nope, just opening it here for the spell. Who takes 4 hits and clears the whole camp.
I was like, here, I'll use Aphotic Shield on myself, get them all down for you, and you come here and whack them twice, Sven. Here you go.
Support life, man. I'm just here for the experience, bro. I still can't. Okay, so Sven's gonna skip right past the blink, and looks like he's gonna go right for the BKB. What do you think about that one? I guess since they're not really fighting that much, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. It could also be a Sanjin Yasha build.
Yeah, I've seen that
But-
quite a bit. Okay, so 13-minute Radiance here finished. Not on him, though, and actually he's going to get gone on. He pops the ult, so he's going to be able to regen to us. But there's 4 heroes. They pop this Sven ultimate, and he's just going to blow up. So luckily he made the purchase before that happened. Let's see.
Yeah, great lockdown. Stormhammer into Shackle into Ice Path.
Yeah.
It's really important that they can hold down the Elk and burst him. Even if he gets his ult off in that situation, if he doesn't have support, if he doesn't have a swap out or a missile stun or something to deter the enemy team, he can die to a gank like that.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they picked an Alchemist into this lineup with just so many ways of just kind of holding you down, and you know, the Sven just naturally being able to just defeat the shit out of you, you know.
Tower's done for.
Armor's always been a problem here for Alchemist, and Sven is very happy to exploit that. Midas was picked up on the Lone Druid, so it'll be Radiance Gaming here, but it'll take a little bit longer for his to get a line. Invest 2k plus into a farming item, it kind of delays, but still, it's
Dyer's mid tower
definitely pay
needs a
off for him.
little help.
Synergize is great with the bear itself, so no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul indeed.
Wind Ranger's actually almost done with the Egg Scepter already, already 900 away from finishing it. It's insane. With 2
Yeah,
kills
that
in
kill
the
on
entire
Alk
game.
really helped.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's atop the net worth as he should be, but he needs to be quite a bit farther if they really want to see some success with him. Radiance is finally on him now, so see him look just to extrapolate his dividends from investing in that heavy farming item. I hope it's not a Naga Alchemist build. I'm really sick of that. the bots, Manta, Okor kind of build up. Really hope that's not the case here. And it looks like AA might be going for Midas as well here. So Midas Radiance Gaming, full greed mode in game 1. Big fan.
Yeah. I'm just surprised at like the number of CS we're seeing. Like, oh, we got DC. The like the Sven and Necro both having like above 100 CS at 15 minutes. It's pretty good. Like some like pro level play you see maybe 150 at this time, but like just really good CS coming out from both teams. The supports are playing so selflessly on both teams though. We've seen great stacking by Venge AA and then Lone Druid doing his own double stacking with his bear, and you know, little things like the Abaddon taking some hits from the creeps and getting them down so Sven can uh, farm faster has
It's all
been
about
kind of cute to
efficiency,
see.
my friend.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about Heroically. You get to appreciate the smaller things that you really don't get to see in the lower levels of play. And you were actually 100% correct. Sven is going with the S and Y, so BKB be damned. I want attack speed. I want stats. Let's go. So yeah, it's gonna be very difficult to kite him. I mean, they have a couple ways of locking him down, but that's just gonna allow the Lone Druid and the Bear just to run rampant. So Maston's
Yeah,
definitely
it's
got their
also
work cut out for him.
the S&Y is also a good pickup if it's a farming game. You'll see some people go Blink to get in between camps faster, but S&Y also offers you stats and movement speeds, which also has an impact in team fights. So it's like pros and cons to having Blink versus S&Y as your second item. So
Check out the Kunkka effigy on Moribund on the Dire. Is there anything wrong with his hair to you? Sorry, I was just trying to occupy myself during the pause.
is it like above his left shoulder?
Well, he's just bald on my screen.
Yeah, he is bald.
No hat, no hair, no problems. Bald Kunkka.
He has a beard though.
There you go. Well, that's the new style, man. That's how we do it.
What's behind his left shoulder?
Tower's getting banged up.
I have
Oh well,
no
we've
idea.
got a game to watch, I guess.
Maybe another pause will come out. And there's been so many like aesthetic glitches I've seen in the last week. It's just I think I had a Sven picked I think last week, and I was just checking out his cosmetics, and the Sven was actually laying down in the preview box.
Radiant's
awesome.
top tower's
Yeah.
hurting.
I've seen a few games where like Bat Rider has like activated Firefly and like flown out of the ground.
Radiant structures like
Unreal.
this.
Thank you,
Radiant's
Gaben.
top
Well,
tower
hopefully
is
the
bad.
Shanghai funds from the compendium will help out, right? You can help fix the bugs in Reborn. And then, oh my gosh, these entangles! I swear, every Lone Druid game, Lone Druid players have just been offering sacrifices to RNGs, and they're just getting every entangle they could want. Necro is actually going for the early Aghanim Scepter, so.
Yeah, there were some changes to the RNG with Entangle. So I think if you do a move command in between,
Yeah.
or an attack command in between your attacks, you're more likely to get an Entangle because it resets the RNG counter.
Wow, this Alchemist just being devious. He scouts out another enemy stack for the Ancients. And he actually let's just take a couple out before he realizes I probably shouldn't be here. Oh, they got the Alpha Volt creep too. The Helm of the Dominator. Alright, so these are a couple big item pickups. S&Y is finished on the Sven. Blink up on the Beastmaster, which is going to be huge for their initiation here.
Smoke on the side of Moribund.
Yeah, they're going to find somebody too. Get the Blink, but he's still dead. That range on that stun, baby, and there's really no one around him right away. AA Blast comes in to try to help him out, but it's actually going to hit onto 3, but they're still going to get their kill. Out TPs at the last second, but it's too little too late.
It was a good swap, but better power shot, I guess. Just caught him out.
Yeah, and actually, Aghanim Scepter's finished on the Wind Ranger too, so. Towers will be in trouble. Yeah, the swap's going to be huge. I mean, they're going to have pretty damn good positioning with 2 blinks on their side, but having that swap there just to try to save whoever's in danger. But he was just too far out, and it's just too late. Too much damage just so quickly.
Well, he used his blink to move down the river. Instead
Yeah,
of
so it's on cooldown.
Yeah. And a Roshan attempt.
Yeah, no God Strength for this, but it's still going to go down fairly quickly. It's pinged out immediately, but his team's really not in any position. They have a smoke available, but they're just taking their sweet time. AA Blast will delay it if it even gets there before Roshan dies. Oh my gosh, they got the Roshan kill with that. Oh my gosh, the plays. The plays. Alright, Alchemist wants to move in here, and actually they're going to be able to take out poor Curtis. Blown up on the Abaddon, and I think they're ready to regoose. They might have lost the Aegis, but they pick up a kill in the back end, and this Wind Ranger's actually in a lot of trouble. No blink. She does have the Aegis, the Immortal, so it's going to be gone as soon as it's picked up. Last right click's actually not going to connect, but Heartstopper and Beastmaster help finish off the kill. She's going to pop right back up here, and Alchemist is pretty much just dead to rights.
Deny!
Wow. Awesome suicide. That might have been luck or skill. I can't really tell. And Sven is just so low. He's getting kited actually pretty damn well here. He's going to go down as well. So actually 3 down on the side of Mastodon, but they're able to pick up the Sven and pop the Aegis. Actually, there's 4 with the AA going down at the end. So maybe not worth. Wow. Oh, 2 buybacks. So I didn't even notice that. Jakiro and the Abaddon bought back in that engagement. So I think that's a win for Mastodon, honestly. So you got the carry. You burn the Aegis. Get 2 buybacks. Meanwhile, the Lone Druid just punishing them in that fight, though. There is 1 exterior tower here for Mastodon. It's 20 minutes in the game. So, might only have 9 kills, but towers are just being handed their asses handed to them, so.
Yeah, I don't know if they really came out on top there.
Yeah,
I'm just so confused.
I keep forgetting about the rat. It's just, you know, it feels like you win a team fight, you make a worthwhile exchange, but meanwhile your base is just being completely forsaken. So, I mean, a couple more fights like that, it's God only knows. And the Radiance is now picked up by the Lone Druid, so slight delayed, but that tower goal is definitely gonna help him out. And Venge is just shackled to death. So much damage coming out. That early Egg Scepter just going to work here. Great shackle and help with a Jakiro.
Yeah. I think she was trying to get a ward down. Or maybe just
right.
things
That's
out.
another support problem. Just going to ward. Oh, dead. And actually Sven's going to find an Ancient Sack to steal this time around. And he's going to be able to finish the whole thing pretty damn quickly here. They're going to ping it out, but the whole team of Moribund's here, so there's not too much they can do.
I think it's going to be super scary for the side of Mastodon as soon as Sven gets his BKB.
Oh, they actually get to kill in the bear with the A blast and the axes, so a little bit of gold for their troubles. But yeah, I totally agree. That BKB is just about 2/3 finished here, so it's going to be up sooner rather than later. And it's going to be rough. That's another great thing about the playoffs too. I mean, they're 2 very talented teams, and yeah, Mastodon hasn't dropped a game, but any given day, my friend, this is Dota. A lot of variables to consider. Jakiro actually going for an early Veil, it looks like.
Yeah, I think the kind of fight progression that Mastodon has to look for is they have to get a pick off on the Lone Druid and then fight. Because even if they trade relatively even in the fights, the Lone Druid split push is just almost too threatening to them, or too impactful into the game.
Yeah, and they really have no way of countering it. So yeah, unless they can kill him right off the bat, it's just it's just not good. I don't know how else to put it really. Aghanim Scepter finished up on the Necro. I mean, we've seen a lot of smokes here from Mastodon. Another one actually purchased by the Venge, but think only one's really come to fruition here and actually made a big play. So I'm hoping to turn things around. I can check the graphs real quick and see where we're standing. About 7,500 in the favor of Moribund as far as XP is concerned, and actually the net worth lead isn't too bad. So with those buybacks, definitely hurting Moribund. But they were taking objectives. Objective Dota, right?
Yeah.
Kills only matter in Call of Duty. Team deathmatch. Towers in your base is what counts. So, and oh, that's a good blink there. Necro could have been dead. He's just gonna hide in the trees and TP. He's actually gonna make it out. The rest of his team just kind of scrambling like roaches when a light is turned on. Just trying to get the hell out of there. They know they're kind of outmatched. All 5 heroes from Moribund committed up top. I already have all the towers though. Ooh. Wow. I was not expecting that. I think it might be a pipe coming out in the way of the lone druid here. So he had a lot of farm, and I was kind of curious which way he'd go with it. I think maybe a Maelstrom, Mjolnir, AC maybe if he really had a stockpile of gold. But yeah, he looks like he's going for a pipe here just to kind of mitigate some of the magic damage here.
I'm very surprised about the pipe pick, but it looks by the way they're posturing that they want to go high ground right now.
Yeah. They have a nice XP lead and looks like they want to take advantage of it, but I don't know if that's. I think you definitely want to. The Sven's 200 away from BKB, so
technical difficulties.
I think maybe wait for that to be completed, and then maybe go. I get the sense of urgency, and the pipe definitely just shows how they really just want to stick it to Mastodon, but I don't know, it feels maybe a little too early to be putting the eggs into that basket right now.
Yeah, another thing I've kind of been thinking about is the Alk has the Manta up, so he offers pretty good split push. So I'm not sure if Moribund feels comfortable trying to fight his 4 and leave Lone Druid to split push, because maybe Alk will be able to push out the lanes far enough that Lone Druid isn't able to threaten Rax while they take a team fight.
Yeah, they definitely scouted out the Manta, so they're probably sharing that same train of thought that you are. Pipe finished up on Lone Druid, so that will help them out quite a bit with their high ground push, but I don't know. I feel like it's too early to push the advantage, but I mean, then again, I mean, the counter argument, you're just giving Alk more time to beef up too, so. And like you said, I mean, he's pushing out and he's farming their jungle at will, so.
I don't think he's farming quite as hard as the Sven. He does get the bonus gold, of course, but I think he's just staying on par type thing. And I think Alk has to get ahead if he wants to be a threat. If you stay even with Alk, you're winning type thing.
100% right. Couldn't have said better myself. Yeah, it's like I've mentioned multiple times. The Alchemist, he needs that farm. He needs that gold advantage. He's just not as strong of a carry, a right clicker or anything compared to the Sven or the Lone Druid. He just needs so many items and so much farm just to kind of compete with them. And yeah, I mean, if you look at the net worth, they're pretty much even. So. And this actually looks like the next big fight, and they're just going to blink and they're going to roll right on the Sven. He pops the BKB though. They're not ready for that. He's just going to beat him down. Alk pops the Manta, but he's just dead. Necro actually picking up a kill. He gets a dominating streak here, but I mean, Sven's just going to town on everybody. Alk cannot even keep up. This is when he wishes he had a blink here on Sven, but Ghost Scepter actually used on Necro, but really just kind of delaying the inevitable here. Alk's going to look to re-goose. He's full health, ult doing work, but it's almost over. He's going to be very vulnerable. Actually runs out, but Sven's just too damn low, so they're going to pick up the Jakiro, so 3 for 3. Sven almost dying. The blink ahead, and he actually gets the kill in the Sven too. 4 down, but what did we talk about? What's happening? Rat Toto.
Lone Druid rat.
Lone Druid, the rat is real, so huge team fight. 4 for 3, but I mean, that's a huge gold swing, but at the same time, you've already lost your T3 tower. Rax is in danger. AL will help stall it just a little bit. Uh-oh, stop this stun. This is what they need right here. Mastodon are making a big play here. If they can actually pick up this kill. The bear trying to do his best to save its master, but to no avail. Lone Druid will go down as well, so damn.
The pipe was on the bear, not on Lone Druid himself.
Yeah, and he actually activated after the Ice Blast and after everything but the magic missile came out, so not ideal. Not ideal.
Yeah, if he would have gotten out there, I think it would have been fine, but I think it's now an even trade. I think Moribund would have been ahead even after losing their Sven and losing that team fight, if the Lone Druid had gotten out there. He didn't necessarily need to get the racks, but the racks are now like threatened, if that makes sense. There's no tower protecting them. If they try to fight and Lone Druid's not there, they have to watch, or they have to kind of back out of the fight, because Lone Druid will just take the racks next time.
Yeah, and they use Glyph as well, so that's something else to keep in mind. So very, very defenseless top barracks there for Mastodon. So that miscoil, man, he's got more CS with the miscoil than I think with his right click. Actually has it maxed out already too, level 11. So they see that Roche is up. I don't know if they want to go for it. They have pretty damn good vision here, but the Boar's gonna scout out the Satyr Mind Stealer, who's just kind of gathering some intel, and they see the enemy coming, and I think they're gonna disengage here. If they commit the Sven ult, it's just gonna make it really weak for the team fight.
Wind Ranger had a little bit of a misplay. She shackled and then focus fired before, but it looks like the fight may begin, so you have an Ice Blast coming in. And the Dire side is forced to kind of back out of the road.
Yeah. Just not fast enough. They don't quite have the deeps without Sven popping his ultimate, so.
I think they have it if Wind Ranger didn't mess up her Shackle focus fire combo right off the get-go. She focus fired before the Shackle landed, and so it didn't pop the
Oh, it didn't pop the
Lincolns.
Lincolns? Oh.
Yeah. And
Now
then the
they're gonna
Shackle
go
didn't
for it.
actually link onto the tree, so Roche was only sent for like a half second.
Well, the Lone Druid kind of diverting the attention from the Roche pit. They're going to throw another AA blast in here, but it's pretty much done, so. Sven's incredibly low, so I think they're going to have to give it back to the Wind Ranger again, and there we go. Alchemist is in with a haste rune again. What the hell? Necro actually pops his ult, and he's able to take out. Oh, he didn't use his ultimate actually. He's just running them down. He's actually going to get the Wind Ranger as well. The Aegis again immediately squandered after being picked up. And the Lone Druid's coming in, and actually with a long range shackle from downtown. Ultimate goes off the Lone Druid, but not even close to enough damage. Now the Oxalba is lonesome here, and his ultimate's just about to run out, so he's just going to get out of there. No rat that time. And Sven lives.
Alk didn't decide to chase him down, he decided to turn back around in the fight. Which actually kind of really hurt them, because he didn't really get anything out of it more. Like, Necro still died, and Beastmaster was already dead. I think it would have been worth it for him to keep chasing after the Sven who had the AA Ice Blast on him.
Yeah, he was incredibly low, so that wouldn't have been that difficult of a kill. But yeah, with the Sven surviving and being able to pick up his blink, I think that really changes a lot of things here for Moribund.
AA has his eggs now.
Ooh, that is beautiful. Midas going to work, my friend. That is huge. That's
He actually Ice Blast Creep Wave to get a last hit so he could afford it.
Hell yeah! Both a farming tool and a team fight changer. It's great. Okay, so someone had to pick up an MKB eventually. It looks like it's gonna be the Lone Druid here. He's got the Demon Edge on himself. Just to make sure that Radiance mischance isn't a factor for him at least. I'm surprised that they're having that much trouble really beating down. Oh my gosh, speaking of beating down, oh my gosh, it just exploded. That poor Beastmaster. And AL's going to come out again, but they're going to be able to take out the Necro, but he's going to get his ult off first. He's going to take out the Wind Ranger to get a nice killing spree. He'll go down in the end. But now Sven's very vulnerable, pops BKB, but he's just going to have to get the hell out of there. Alchemist is ready to run him down. Octarine Core finish on top of the Manta and the Radiance. He's still chasing after him. Abaddon's going to make sure he's safe here, but damage is already done. They do lose two. They do lose two though. Wow,
But the rat continues.
Oh my gosh. Jakiro liquid fire. No, he doesn't want to be a part of that. I'm wondering if we'll see another Aghanim Scepter from a Lone Druid. We've seen it a couple times here in AD2L. Just making it so that the hero itself is just kind of there. I mean, the bear is free to do what he wishes at all times, and being able to have both heroes pushing at the same time, and having the Lone Druid actually die, but the bear is still able to just man fight people is going to be huge. So we'll see what he ends up going here. Alchemist
I'm surprised
quite a
that.
bit of gold too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to go for. I'm surprised that the Lone Druid is going for this early Demon Edge, maybe Monkey King Bar. I don't think he'd go Daedalus or Divine, so
Well,
yeah, it is NA
well.
Dota, so those things aren't completely out of the picture, of course. But just for the like Lone Druid, I would imagine that attack speed would be favorable on the
Yeah.
bear, and yeah, he's now got a Hyperstone, so maybe it was just a casual Demon Edge.
More
Maybe misclicked.
damage. Yeah,
Or something.
AC, Mjolnir, all of those. I mean, even a Moon Shard wouldn't be terrible. And I think, do they see him down here? Oh my gosh, he blinks out the last second. I don't really have any way of getting vision. Necro's
They should
pinging,
know.
God, please help me.
They should know from the Heartstopper aura that he's around, but
So not paying attention to their buffs, so just gonna walk right past him. But Necro is unable to join this fight. You know, his TP is still on cooldown, and he's actually going Eggs Refresher, so he's gonna be able to delete the heroes off the map. And he actually has enough for it if he wants to finish it.
I think that's their win condition though, that they put Sven and someone else out of the game for 2 minutes.
Yep. That's the way to do it. Yeah, otherwise it's just going to be too difficult, because even if they're able to take a team fight, the Lone Druid's just going to do his thing. But they are going to threaten this Rax. Glyph is back up here for Mastodon, so it's not going to be too terribly easy here for Moribund just to push at will. And oh my gosh, that Aghanim Scepter ultimate just doing work right now. They can lay down all their AoE just to try to kill the Alkalusions, but they'll make it right through the Ring of Fire. Yeah, the high ground defense is actually going to be pretty terrifying here. Just fighting an Acid Spray alone is just going to make things a pain in the ass for everybody here.
I think they needed a roar there. That was a really great Ice Blast. You aren't going to have many opportunities like that. And Moribund was just ready to run away as Abaddon's
Huge
first
shackle. Yeah, he pops his ult. He's back up to full health, and Sven's just going to go right in on the Alchemist here. A huge swap there, taking him out of the fight, but they still finish him off. Alchemist down, Venge down. Beastmaster actually he has to buy back. He pops his ultimate here. They're actually going to take out the Lone Druid for 110 seconds here as Necro pops his ult. Sven's still going to town here. Gets an ultra kill. And now it's Necro all by his lonesome. He's got really nothing left in his kit. He just buys out his recipe here. Kind of accepting his fate. It's very slowly. There you go. There's your rampage. Possibly the first rampage of the playoffs? I don't know. So they're forced to use the glyph. All heroes down. Alchemist, unfortunately, with no buyback. Yikes. I mean, I was pretty terrified when the Lone Druid went down, but it looks like it's really of no consequences. The top lane is pushed in, so they can potentially get 2 sets here. Alright, so there's the buyback on the Necro. They were holding it for quite a bit, but I'm not too sure what he can do. His ultimate's still down. He's just going to kind of chase off the Windrunner for the time being. I thought, didn't he buy the refresher recipe?
I think he sold it.
Okay, so he bought it moments before death, but looks like he sold it again, so.
No, he bought it while dead. And then sold it. I think.
You can't do that when you're dead.
No, you can buy and sell while dead, but you can't buy before you die and then sell it while dead.
Gotcha.
So he was dead for both the purchase and the sell.
Now it doesn't really matter. He can buy whatever he wants because there's no buyback for him for quite a long time here. So only 1 rack's down, so crisis semi-averted. But I mean, these top racks are vulnerable and incredibly weak. Glyph already being used, so Lone Druid will be up in 10 seconds here. So I don't know. Do you go for the jugular here?
Sven has his Daedalus on courier. He just didn't deliver it to himself, and he was in the fountain.
Is it still on the courier? Oh, now it's coming.
Yeah.
Now it's hasted. Now it's coming. So he did all that. He got the rampage minus a full crit stick. That's impressive. Yeah, but once the Alchemist, I mean, that was a fantastic swap. But I mean, with the S and Y, he's just so damn fast.
He self-stunned as well, the Elk, because of the lockdown. He got shackled while channeling. Yeah. And then he got sword hammered, and then he self-stunned. So he had like no opportunity to do anything, right?
Yeah, and that's the issue. I mean, it's when you have that much CC on one side, and they can commit it to bursting down arguably one of the most impactful heroes on the team. that's just how the team fight's gonna go. And unfortunately, he just bought the Basher, so there was no buyback available.
Yeah, I'm not really liking the Octarine pickup. I think if he has BKB Basher, like, yeah, he could have BKB and his Basher still right now instead of the Octarine.
So
they
Invisor
look to
in
fight
here, so they're
in
gonna
the
use
lane.
a smoke, and they're actually gonna go, but the Alchemist just explodes at 2 huge criticals. Oh my gosh, 2 huge kills here, and actually, even with the cleave, they actually pick up a third. So I don't know, man. Dieback for the Necro. They're gonna get a sweet AA blast, but it's yikes. There you go. 279 last hits at 35-minute mark is equal to 7th highest compared to professional play. So that's all time. That's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. And this will be the second set of racks here. No glyph. It's really up to, I mean, the Alchemist is, I mean, there's no roar, so it's really just Alchemist here. And they will beat down the Sven, luckily, but the Lone Druid is still full force here. He's got to resummon on the Bear in 3. Take out Jakiro, nice bash proc, but they get the melee racks, which is what counts, right?
And they got top
Yeah, they got
with
top.
the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, they got top melee both, so essentially mega creeps, but for all intents and purposes, we still have a little bit more Dota to play, but the Alch just proving just to be no competition here.
Yeah, for the Sven's farm. But it's not really fair to compare him to the Sven because he was mid, Sven was safe. It's more fair to compare him to the Wind Ranger. I think Wind Ranger's just been also offering a lot more in terms of lockdown with Shackle and damage with her ult. So I think the Elk could have had a really good game, but things just kind of didn't go the way they wanted to. Every team fight they didn't get as good of a trade as they needed to because of the Lone Druid split pushing, and they always had to have him in the back of their minds. Hey, what's happening to our base right now when we're fighting?
Oh, that's Rat Dodo, man. Hey, I think we won a team fight. Oh, we lost a T3. That is Rat Dodo at its finest, and now it seems really, really grim. I mean, I hate to call a game or be biased in any way, shape, or form, but I mean, it's a pretty damn insurmountable lead, especially with your base in shambles as it is. And the Beastmaster, I mean, he's trying to be a player in these team fights, but it's just not enough. That being said,
I don't think it's quite over.
Eggs
Because of
Refresher,
Necro.
yeah, Eggs Refresher is still online. He's incredibly tanky. It's gonna be very difficult for them to take him down and make sure that, I mean, there's really no way of stopping it. Like, if there's a hero that's even remotely low, it's gonna be wiped off the map. So the Aegis will help though. Aegis plus Cheese, third Roche. It's just sitting there. I think Curtis is just gonna hold on to it for the time being.
Yeah, I think you'd go for the. You have to get Sven with the Reprecise, like no questions asked.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
If they wanna have a chance at winning, and then because Wind Ranger has the Aegis, you can't really go for her. I think you go for Lone Druid as your secondary.
Yep. Take out the 2 biggest cores at the time, and yeah, the Aegis is just gonna be a thing. But the sad thing is, if they don't go on her, she can split from the fight and just finish the job here.
Yeah, if they could have caught Lone Druid there in the bottom lane, they could have been good. But Wind Ranger is just going to pop BKB, go for
Flips
Rax.
back up, and they're gonna use the roar for her as well. Her team surrounding her. They're gonna get the AA blast only on 1, and a great swap here to try to keep her in place. But Wind Run's in effect. She's gonna be able to run away. It's getting very, very low, but it's just the Aegis, so it's not that big of a deal here. Meanwhile, Sven is just going to town here, and he's going deep in the base. Triple kill. And Necro goes down, and that is likely game, and they will call it. Alchemist dying one more time. One more Rampage for the road. Double Rampage, game 1. Hey, man. Everyone's got to lose at some point, right? Mastodon finally go down. Moribund Esports take game 1. Wow. How about that for game 1?
That was the slowest, fastest game I've seen
right?
in a while.
15 minutes to first blood, and then every lane of racks
Double
and
rampage.
double rampage, game over. Yeah,
The Sven played really well. Just great job by him, not throwing away too many lives Abaddon played really well in terms of countering the Beastmaster Roar with his aphotic shield. There was that big save on Sven at the Ancient fight that enabled them to kind of take an even trade while Lone Druid ratted top. So I think Moribund definitely came to this game with the plan, and the Sven last pick really helped them out. I don't think Mastodon is done quite yet. I think they can take fight. They can put up a good fight, and they just need to, maybe take a little bit cleaner team fights and coordinate on focusing down targets.
Yeah, it just seems that they might not have been all on the same page in game one, so. Well, we'll take a quick break and see if everyone can get everything back together and see if we can have just as exciting a game too. So we'll be back in just a moment.